Now, it's the stuff that the blues was built on, singing your pain, singing of loss, and in some cases, singing for redemption.
I'm gonna rest my bones. I'm gonna rest my bones. Hey, babe, I don't want to see you cry when that black sedan goes driving by. I'll rest my bones.
It's the haunting voice of the award-winning Canadian artist Rita Chiarelli singing live for us earlier in the studio. Rita is a blues singer who took the brave step of filming her own journey back to her musical roots in Louisiana in the deep south of the USA. Brave because there she visited Angola prison, the notorious high-security penitentiary where, depending on which legend you believe, the blues itself was born about 100 years ago. The documentary that she's made is called Music from the Big House. It features her efforts at collaboration with some of Angola's most hardened inmates, most of whom will never be released for their violent crimes. The film's just gone on international release to widespread acclaim, and as well as singing, she stepped into the World Today studio to tell me how it all came about.
I was doing a blues pilgrimage, basically, figuring out, all these great places that you hear about where, blues legends have lived and died and sold their souls to the devil and all that stuff. And I started on this journey down Highway 61, and then I came to the sign. On Highway 61, turn right, Angola, Louisiana State Penitentiary. And I took that turn. I called them up from a convenience store and told them I was Canadian. Which I found out people are happy when you're Canadian, which is a great thing. So, I said, I'm a blues artist, I'm Canadian, I'm down here, this is a fascinating place. And they said, well, why don't you come on in, we'll give you a tour.
Tell me about the men you met in there.
The first visit was just really a tour, and I suggested that maybe I'd come back and do a concert. And then as I thought about it and did some more research, I thought, what would be really great would be to do a concert with musical inmates that are there today. And the idea came to me that what I would do, I didn't bring any of my own musicians down. I went down by myself, with the film crew, of course, but by myself musically. And the idea was that, they've had people go down and perform for them. They get everybody who wants to perform for them, right? But then the idea was like, wow, I should perform with them. And no one's ever done that before. Gonna rest my bones, rest my bones, rest my bones.
Were they good?
The musicians, they were really good. And they sang for me and kind of, played and stuff like that. And I jammed with them and I thought, this would be great. This would be great. And it's something that's never been done. So then when I realized that it was something that had never been done, I thought, well, we should document this.
2, 3, sing.
Rain on me.
Now, do the last part. 2, 3, sing.
Shower your blessing. Let it rain on me. Rain on me. Rain on me.
What was their reaction to you?
It's really surprising because I'm thinking that the inmates are going to just be thrilled, right? They're just going to be so happy.
They weren't.
Well, they were leery. They wanted to know what my intentions were. Like, what are you doing? Are you going to make money? So it was a matter of building trust with them, and talking to them and telling them a bit about my story and the importance of music in my life, and just looking at them and hoping that they trust you enough that they would open up and tell their story, and sing for you. And then beyond that, if they wanted to, talk a little bit about how they ended up there and what their lives were like.
You're a singer, obviously, with a huge range. I mean, you've recorded all kinds of music in your career. Italian folk music, I believe, was one of your recent tangents, if you like, musically. You headed off in that direction. What has this taught you? What has this journey brought for you?
Huge spiritual lessons, huge lessons on life and forgiveness, lessons on opening up your heart and mind to the fact that sometimes, people make mistakes. This has been an incredible journey. I mean, I'll never be the same as I was before I made this project.
It is the Father, we a good pleasure, and the King
And I mean, you talk about forgiveness, and obviously these are people, most of whom won't get released. I mean, the government, the state is never going to forgive them, if you like, for their crimes. How do you think they profited from it?
I feel that, like, some of them, I think, have paid their price, and it's difficult to say. I think that some of them have changed, although, you know, a lot of them did murder somebody. You know, somebody did get killed. It's something that tears a little bit at your conscience because you think of both places, you know, both places.
The blues, of course, classically is music that is born of pain. Can you hear the pain, do you think, when you listen to the music that you recorded there in that penitentiary? Is it a special quality of pain, I guess, born of that experience that you're describing?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could hear it, and I think you can hear some hope in there, going back to, you know, your last question, you know, what did they gain? I think that it gave them a moment to say they're sorry. It gave them a moment to say who they are now and who they were. I think that you can hear the pain in this music. You know, the blues is a funny thing, right? Because we call a lot of things the blues. There's also joyful blues. It's kind of a contradiction in words, and I think you hear a lot of that in this music.
It's Rita Chiarelli and the inmates of Angola Penitentiary in Louisiana. This is The World Today.
All right, now you see the woman always has the last word, right?